Hey, this is Patricia Tallman from Night of the Living Dead and Babylon 5. And you are watching Death Curse Society. Stay badass. Enjoy life. Go for your dreams.
There's another one for the fire.
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Here we go again, folks. Another edition of Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. I'm Red Crank. I got Zigzag. I got the Colonel and FaZe down there. What's up, guys?
Wait a minute. We were just here. Here.
I know.
That
was yesterday. Now we're doing something else.
It's all right, though. This was cool. Just as cool.
2 interviews back to back, day after day. Yeah, that's the way I like it. Anyway.
Day after day after day after day.
Since we do have a special guest, we're going to get right to the business. We see you guys in there. Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday to Paula,
yes.
By the way.
Happy birthday, Paula. I've been waiting for this because it's much more personal to do it on live on the air than send you a message. So happy birthday, Paula.
Right. I'm more of an in-person, I know this isn't in-person, but face-to-face guy too.
Yes.
So.
All
right. So. Before we get to our guest, let's thank our members. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralph's, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod, and of course our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
You can no longer do this on one breath, I see.
Nope. Takes me a little bit now. If you want to become a member and support the DCS, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com. Head on over to the membership page and check out the tiers. Pick one you like and help us out a little bit. And, of course, special thanks to our associate producer, FaZe. I would ask you a question and phase you out, but we don't have time tonight.
Yeah, we're good. Let's get it rolling.
Let's get straight to business, folks. We are honored to be joined by our special guest tonight, and he's the co-founder of Fuzz on the Lens Productions, the co-writer and director of the upcoming stream, a producer on Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3, several other things that we're going to get into. It's Mr. Michael Leavy. Michael, thanks for joining us, man. Welcome to the society.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on and excited to talk with you guys tonight.
Oh, dude, I've been excited for this for a while. I'll be honest. We were supposed to come up to Indy for Days of the Dead, and I was looking forward to meeting you there. But things happened. Life got in the way. And,
the biz, as you know it.
We didn't make it up there. So
well, maybe next time. We're starting to ramp up the convention season again, and so hopefully we'll get to meet in person one day soon.
Yes,
absolutely.
It'll happen.
And FaZe, if you will watch the comments and everything, highlight some for me as you normally do, I would appreciate it. Let's get into it. First, I want to ask about, your bio states that ever since you learned what a movie was, you dreamed of making them. So how did that love of movies and filmmaking manifest for you at, it sounds like, a pretty early age?
It was. I couldn't tell you exactly when it was pinpointed that I fell in love with filmmaking, because that's how early it was. I could remember as far back as, being 3 years old, really just really watching. Started off obviously kid shows and comedy stuff and light horror, You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, things like that.
All right.
Moved into Leprechaun, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Stephen King's It. But I used to take my mother's video camera. I'm one of 6 kids. And and I used to we used to just film little movies, short films, skits and stuff like that around the house. Eventually branched out, started doing it with the neighborhood kids. And then I went to high school and continued it there, got the teachers involved and continued through college, and then kept rocking and rolling. And here we are.
Nice. First off, I got to show this off. Joshua says, happy late birthday, Michael. When was your birthday?
Yesterday.
That did not show up in the bio, but happy birthday to you as well.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Damn it. Damn.
And one more, Orlando here. He says, you're going to kill it with streaming Terrifier 3, Michael. Yes, pun intended. So, great. In those early years, what were some of those movies that scared you or at least got your attention, kind of wanting to figure out how that shot was done or how that movie was made?
For sure. If we're talking in the horror world,
of course,
I really was fascinated. Really, believe it or not, everyone laughs when I say it, but Leprechaun, the original Leprechaun, was a movie I've been fascinated with.
I laughed before you said it because I saw this. I saw a little bit of this on another interview, and I was like, they gave you a little bit more of a hard time about it, though.
They did. But it was something. I think it was just easy for me to see as a horror. The kid kind of getting into horror because it's not too scary, but I saw it at the right age. Another one for sure that scared me was Stephen King's It, the mini series with Tim Curry. Nice. I couldn't shower for a long time, months. I was very afraid to go into the shower. Again, it was right age, right time. Fell in love with the original 1978 Halloween. It's actually a franchise that I could still watch over and over and over again today. Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. So a lot of the standard kind of go-tos for sure, but I didn't see Friday the 13th until much later, which was really interesting. Yeah, so maybe that's why I wasn't initially a gore fan until I met Damien Leone, and then it opened up my eyes, and I was like, wow. And then I started watching a lot more gory horror, as I guess I progressed as a horror fan in my older age.
All right.
Real quick though, I just want to say I can't believe people giving you shit over Leprechaun. I'll be honest, the first 3 Leprechaun movies hold a special place in my heart. I was still single digits when those were brand new, man.
Right.
So that's the shit I was watching as a kid too.
Yeah. So, I don't know, the character, the storyline, it was fun, but it was also horror. And I think it was just an easy way to kind of get into loving horror. And then obviously I would watch Are You Afraid of the Darks on Nickelodeon or Goosebumps, R.L. Stein, all that stuff. I really became, and you could see a lot of the influences from those things, and especially my earlier work. I did a film called Abnormal Attraction, which was like a horror comedy, campy film. And there's a lot of some of my, love for those kinds of things in it.
I don't want to jump on the Leprechaun hate train or anything, but I do want to point out that the Colonel is also a fan of Leprechaun Back to the Hood. So
there you go.
let's be honest. Let's point out where the praise is coming from.
Dude, I enjoyed it. I was like fucking 12, dude.
Look, as long as you're entertained, that's all that counts. You don't need a Shawshank Redemption or a Mystic River or any of those big. Every time you go watch cinema.
Fair enough, Colonel. You want number 3?
Yeah. So speaking of attending school, high school and stuff, so you attended film school at St. John's University. I know a lot of this new generation of filmmakers kind of say film school isn't necessary anymore. Where do you stand on the debate, and how would you try to sway people to go towards your way of thinking, like film school against film school?
I actually do not think film school. How do I word that? I don't think film school is necessary, actually. I wish that I would have went into the business right out of high school, and I probably would have been 10 years further ahead. Personally, I feel that way. Now, not to say I didn't have a great time, not to say I didn't make some cool things. I formed my business in college, and I got to meet a lot of, even though I knew my partners, we really formed. So there was a lot there, but I just think that college kind of prolonged getting into the business, because I think that film is something that you could really just jump right into. And the only way you're really going to learn how to make a movie is to make a movie. You know what I mean? The trials and errors, you can read about it, you can listen about it, you can theorize about it, but you're really never going to know unless you actually do it. And that's where you learn. It's the mistakes. It's the experimentations. It's just go out, make a short film, put something on YouTube, show your friends, show your family, get an audience. That's where I learned the most, and that's where I excelled the most, was just physically going out and doing it.
Nice. So you're more of just the experience and getting into it rather than the film school side now.
For sure. I mean, look,
Nice.
and like I said, not to say that there weren't great films I was exposed to, great techniques and stuff, but I just think, if you really want to make a movie, then you have to just make a movie.
Okay. Ziggy, you want to jump in with 4?
I certainly do. Back in 2014, you got some notoriety locally, internationally, for a prank that you and your brother Jason conceived at a Buffalo Wild Wings, the Staten Island Clown.
Yep.
Now, what was the impetus of that conversation, and how did it explode onto the social medias?
And how many beers were consumed before this happened? All right.
There it is. There it is. Probably a few too many deep. It was funny. We were having a couple of drinks, and we were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were saying, something came up on our news feed about a drug overdose. That I remember. And it was all over the news, this particular drug overdose. And we just started, talking about how the news outlets and everything is also negative, and it's always just dark. And we said, what if we can change that with something really interesting and make it fun and exciting, and also almost like you're living a real life film? And that's kind of where it was. Like, what if we put something out there and that could be captivating? And eventually we settle on, hey, why don't we put a clown out there and see what happens? Just kind of mess with people. And it didn't go according to plan. We had thought maybe a couple of months of a slow burn. People will start saying, wait, yeah, this clown is kind of all over the place. He's popping up. And, we figured we'd be the ones with our company to expose the clown, maybe get an interview, maybe get the first video footage right. And then that'll get our company also noticed on the map. But what we thought would take 3 months took 3 days, and this thing popped and went viral everywhere. This creepy clown was all over the place. Everyone was trying to find out what the MO was. But again, it was really a social experiment more than a prank, I guess, at the end of the day, because it was changing the narrative. It was trying to see if we could make a splash. We could really push through. And I didn't understand what viral really meant until that happened. I mean, this was all over the place. I had a teacher that was in Milan, Italy, that had sent a picture of one of the local papers there and said, U.S. goes crazy with clown sightings. And obviously it was all in Italian. I had to translate it. And they had the picture of the Staten Island clown on there. And then eventually there was all these copycats that started following suit. And, from 2014, I think it went all the way up to 2016. And then I find it interesting that from there we kind of got involved with the Terrifier franchise with the clown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then also around that time, Stephen King's It, the remake, the movie popped. So it was a very interesting time, and I think subconsciously, like everybody for some reason has had clowns on their mind, and maybe we willed it into society. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I loved reading a little bit about that story on I think it was SI Live or something like that, Staten Island Live.
Yeah.
That was very cool. I knew some of the clown frenzy that was going on where they were just popping up all over the country, but.
Yeah,
it sounds like you guys started the trend.
Yeah, so. It was cool. Stephen King's son had reached out about it at one point, and then we did something, and Robert Englund mentioned it to us, and he knew about it. So it was really surreal, and it was very cool. And it actually got us our first start with getting a big time investment into a movie. That one I was talking about, Abnormal Attraction. We had met one of our investors, one of our financiers, through that whole publicity stunt. And they're still with us today, invested in Stream. They're still a part of everything that we do. So it really was that moment that really kind of brought us to the next level in the public eye. Nice.
That's awesome.
Uh-oh. BK says, you started that trend? I almost shot a guy in Detroit for doing this.
I'm sorry.
It was everywhere, man. I mean, yeah.
I want to hear that story over the next poker round that we have when we're in Detroit next July, for sure.
I don't know if that story is suitable for this. I don't know if enough time has passed yet. Yeah,
On air.
10 years.
Hey, FaZe. How about number 5?
Sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Fuzz on the Lens Productions was founded in 2010. First off, where did the name come from? Was it an inside joke, or what's the story behind that?
It actually was kind of. We were shooting something in like 2007. We were in high school, and we were doing a scene, and a buddy of mine who's not even in the film business, he was just holding the camera shooting it, stopped us mid-scene, started saying, we got to do it again. There's a fuzz on the lens. It's blurry. So he's still rolling and pulls the camera. We're blowing in. We're cleaning up my shirt. And literally for 20 minutes, we look like a bunch of schmucks trying to figure out where this fuzz is. Lo and behold, we find out it's not a fuzz on the lens. It's a smudge on the viewfinder on the reverse end of the camera. So it kind of became this ongoing joke of make sure you check for that fuzz on the lens before we start. So years would go by, and it just made sense when we wanted to name the company that became so personal, personal, and everybody that was involved in that moment, other than my one friend who said it, actually named it, I guess, the company. Everybody else, we all were the ones who formed my brother, my business partner Steve. We were all there, so it was just very meaningful to us, and it's catchy. Nice. You remember it.
Nice. Yeah. That's brilliant though. But it was on the lens finder. That's amazing.
Right.
And nobody thought to think of that for 20 minutes. Yeah.
And the whole thing's on tape. So we still have it to this day of us looking in the lens. Like the chances the whole thing was recorded.
Dude, you have to release that.
Yeah.
You have to release that at some point. Even maybe with commentary or something like
DVD extras,
3000. Yeah.
DVD extras on stream. That's gold.
Yeah, the history of Fuzz on the Lens.
Yep. Guys watching out there, thanks for tuning in. If you do have any questions, throw them in the comments, and we'll get to those here in just a little bit. In the last 5 years or so, YouTube has been flooded with aspiring filmmakers creating fan films based on their favorite horror franchises. According to IMDb, one of your first production efforts was a fan film called Halloween Awakening in 2012 that continues the story after everyone's favorite, Halloween Resurrection. This came along before this fan film rush, though. So how did that project help you hone your craft and propel your career?
Oh, tremendously. As I said, I was a big fan of the Halloween franchise, and I really hated, obviously this is before when they reconned everything and went with Jamie Lee Curtis back to the roots, but I hated how the storylines were all kind of jumbled. And I said, what if I kind of came in and we came up with a story that made everything cohesive? So that was a challenge, and that was something that I was really excited about doing, just as a fan, first and foremost, beyond just being a filmmaker. And the Halloween franchise, Trancas, was running a fan film festival at the time. And so we entered it to do this. Something happened. I guess the festival got canceled. I guess it was a rights issue thing with like Weinstein. I think they really weren't allowed to do that. Right. But we were so invested in it that we decided to still pursue it. And we made it, actually got their attention, and actually became friends with those guys because of them seeing it in the early years. But and we got Tom Kane, who voiced Dr. Loomis in H2O, to voice Dr. Loomis for us in a whole opening narration to kind of explain. Right. But as a filmmaker, it really, helped us problem solve and say, okay, you have this story that's jumbled all over the place, taking my love of the horror industry, fusing them together, and then trying to weave and figure out a good story. And it was interesting because usually I'm used to, obviously now, of making my own stuff. So it was nice to work off of something that was already established and then put your own spin on it. And that actually allowed me, in a safe zone, so to speak, experiment and get out of my comfort zone within that safe zone to try something new and put my own flavor on it. And it was one of the best learning experiences for sure. I don't recommend always making them, you know what I mean? Just getting stuck in fan film after fan film, but I definitely think you should give it a shot, at least earlier in your career, to try.
All right. Well, with that rush of fan films, are there any that you've seen that you enjoyed?
Yeah,
from other creators.
Yeah. The Jason one in the woods, or I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Friday the 13th one that's really, really good.
Never Hike Alone.
Never Hike Alone. Yeah.
Okay.
I think those are really good. I like also the the mishmash ones where they had Freddy and Jason and Michael, because these are things we're probably never going to see as fans.
Right.
So especially when someone does it right, you can almost sit there and say, wow, this looks like studio budget. Like this is the closest we're ever going to get of having them all on screen because of obviously copyrights and trademark issues and what studio owns what character. So those ones I do enjoy a lot. And I also liked the new one with Miko Hughes, which I thought was really awesome. The Freddy Krueger one that they had.
Dylan's New Nightmare.
Dylan's New Nightmare. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and that was cool because it was a fan film, but it again, like Halloween Awakening, it extended the universe, and it's something that we're never going to get a sequel to, in that storyline. So that was nice to explore.
I think they're working on a second part to that too, which I'm kind of partially excited about.
Yeah, very talented group of filmmakers.
Yeah. I'm going to stay on this for just a second because I didn't realize this. I didn't realize you were responsible for this until I was, studying up on your filmography. But God damn it, I got to say, Halloween 60 was fucking hilarious. All right.
Thank you.
I think it encapsulated everything that, as fans, we were thinking when Halloween 2018 came out, and it was a perfect kind of tribute trailer parody. Was that just a fun project to work on for you? And can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. Again, because of the success of Halloween Awakening, and we had now kind of been establishing ourselves in the business of doing our own stuff. And coming from a background of loving horror and comedy, we thought it would be a really perfect moment to kind of make like you said, what everyone's thinking, make a statement and say, hey, this is kind of what it is. And again, it was in the vein of like a scary movie or something. So it really was paying homage and paying tribute to stuff that we love, but doing it in a fun twist. And we had a riot making. We actually had a plan initially. We were going to do 3 of them. We were the first one, then we were going to do Halloween Kills, and we were going to call it like Halloween Pills, and it was going to be, Michael taking his pills. And then we had one for Halloween Ends. We were going to do Halloween Depends. Michael's wearing the diaper. It didn't end up actualizing, coming to fruition, because in that moment when the Halloween movies came out, we got super busy with Terrifier 2, super busy with Stream coming down the pike. Then COVID hits, and then the thing gets delayed, and then and then we were working on some documentaries and some other stuff. So unfortunately, it never actualized. But we did have a plan at one point because we got such a great, connection with everybody. They really loved it, and it was awesome to do.
That's hysterical. I would have loved to have seen a couple of more of those. That would have been great.
We had scripts too. We had scripts to their trailers.
Yep. Tarek even says Halloween Pills, laughing. Colonel, how about 8?
All right, Michael. Well, of course, we have to talk a little bit about Terrifier, okay? How did your relationship with Damien begin, and how did you get involved with the franchise?
Yeah, I met Damien through Phil Falcone, who anybody who knows the Terrifier franchise, Phil is Damien's business partner and also does the effects with him, especially in the earlier movies. We were on a movie called Abnormal Attraction that I've mentioned a few times here. And this guy, Jason Milstein, who was our post-production supervisor, but also our sound mixer, and he basically does everything. The guy's a genius. He was friends with Phil, said, hey, can I invite this producer to the set? And I'd love you to meet him. So Phil came, we met him. We kind of hit it off. We had the same sense of humor, and he was really impressed with the sets that we had built. So he invited us to help him with his film called Joe's War. And that was a drama with Tom Sizemore and Ed Asner and Amanda Sante. And again, we just built this relationship, and it was his son that mentioned to me, hey, you ever hear of Art the Clown, All Hallows Eve, and all that stuff? And I said, no, actually. And he said, yeah. He goes, there's a filmmaker from Staten Island, which I was shocked that I'd never heard of this filmmaker from Staten Island, being from Staten Island myself, called Damien Leone, and my father is going to do this film with him. And then we started talking about it, and Phil says, hey, I'd love to get you on it. And eventually he did. And I auditioned, actually, because I act as well. I auditioned for one of the cops, got that role initially, and then Damien changed it up and gave me the role of the exterminator who got decapitated in the first film. And I said, if you're looking for someone with the same style of acting that I did with the cops, my brother would be great. And Jason got the part right away with Steve. So that's kind of the beginning of it. And, we worked on some behind the scenes stuff. And then we really became friends over that process, and really just realized how similar we all were. Obviously, being from Staten Island, but then also just in films and in filmmaking style and theory, and love for certain music, and I mean just everything. And we just started hanging out, and the rest was history. We became producers on Terrifier 2, obviously producers on Terrifier 3. Damien and Phil and everybody else really involved with Terrifier came over on stream, where we brought extra people that we used to work with on the Terrifier. So it became this whole family of just really awesome people that are my best friends now.
Nice. I know Ziggy loves your scene in Terrifier.
Yes.
Dude, I mean, the beheading, it's just.
Oh yes, please.
Somebody gave me this.
Oh God.
Nice.
And if you look back here, back in the dark here, that's actually a copy of my head right back in here.
Nice.
See,
Nice.
if I get a light on. The original, there it is.
I mean, larger here too.
Yeah, that's actually
nice.
a copy of my head there. The original, that's a Will Exterminator Funko. The original went to some investor, and I think it's hanging on a mantle in Australia.
Wow.
So I told him if he ever wants to get rid of it, give me a call. But that was the copy, the one I have, that if we needed to do it again, then Damien would put the hair in and obviously rig it all up. But yeah.
Bro,
Nice.
holy shit. I mean, it just that is you captured what it would look like a human head being taken away from its central nervous system, and the twitching eyes and the mouth and shit. Perfect, man. Disturbing.
Thank you.
Very disturbing.
Damien did a great job with the effects, so it made it really easy to act it out. And it was very surreal, very cold. I didn't really know what I was getting into when we did it. Who would have known also that where this would have went? You know what I mean? It was just, like I said, a bunch of friends making a really low budget movie. And, then the rest is history. It just popped, and just honored and grateful to be a part of it and be along for the ride.
Nice. I'm glad you still have the head though. That's great.
Yeah, man.
You got to keep that.
I'm proud of it.
I'm going to continue on and say you producer on Terrifier 3, and we got to go there a little bit, man. Give us something to give people a reason to watch this show, man. Give us a scoop. What can you tell us about Terrifier 3?
Give us the scoop.
So it takes place on Christmas.
The posters
I'll tell you this. Thank you. So everyone talks about the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2, right? I'm being totally honest about this. Every kill in Terrifier 3 is the bedroom scene times 10. It's like there is no just one. I mean, I know the one where we initially had thought might be the one people talk about, because there's always like the one kill scene, the big kill scene. The first one was the hacksaw. The second was the bedroom. The third one in the script, you could tell, and talking with Damien, this is the one. And once we executed, but then seeing it all come together, I don't know. There's so many that ended up working out, either exceeding my expectations or being even cooler than I initially pictured it when I read it. So I just think I think it's going to be a lot of talk about which is the scene, and also just a lot of debate on, is that your favorite? Is this one your favorite? Because there's also a lot of disturbing things that we did. Damien was very explicit with, he wanted to go back to the roots of Art the Clown and make him scary again. Whereas the first one was dark and gritty and grungy. The second one was much more bright, and it was fantastical and mystical, and even the way we shot it was very fantasy-esque. This one, although taking place in Christmas, the juxtaposition of it with this happy, bright holiday, the way we shot it was very dark and very Black Christmas, pockets of lights, almost like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the way that was done, or John Carpenter's Halloween, where there was just light and then nothing, blackness, darkness, and then another pocket of light. So it was really interesting. We shot on the old Panasonic lenses. And again, I think we made Art the Clown much more scary, almost like how he was in All Hallows Eve. And in those earlier, iterations of what Damien had.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, I would say the general consensus unanimously is you guys definitely raised the bar with 2. Do you think, can you say with confidence that, yes, this will be, we've heard the story, people getting sick and on
David getting nauseous.
It was David. He's a wimp. I was there, obviously, when that happened, and I didn't know it was going to leak out like that. Or I think he might have said it by Damien just said someone did. You won't believe who it is. And then David made like a comment, and everyone put it together that it was him. It's true. It's not made up. It's not a marketing thing. It is 100% true that it did happen. Yes, I do believe it's going to live up to the expectations because, and I kept telling people with Terrifier 2, I says, you don't understand what this film is. It's so bigger than what you would expect and what we could have done. I said, wait till you see it. And with Terrifier 3, again, it was that same level of just, let's level everything up. We had the same crew back, plus more. Damien, again, poured his heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears. We all did. And there's a level of expectation that we know that our fan base has, and we make sure that we maintain it. And again, I think everyone's going to be pretty satisfied with what's on the screen. And we give more insight into it, but we don't give too much away to where it kind of just gets rid of the fun and the mystique about it. I'm really excited to see how the Christmas aspect of it plays out. I think it was a bold move by Damien.
Yes.
Very bold.
Very bold.
And he did it again before, because look, you could have made this thing on Halloween for another 5 movies, and then when you feel, oh, maybe it's getting stale, you slap him with the Christmas thing. But he went and did it before the franchise, so to speak, jumps the shark. And I think it was a really smart move because it gave us a lot more to do and keep this thing even more fresh, and do it without having that moment where just doing it just to do it to try to rake in more money or whatever. It's very genuine.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the.
One more thing.
I'm just going to say I'm looking forward to the Christian fundamentalists though that go ape shit because it's set on Christmas stuff. So.
Right. Let's go back to the 70s when Black Christmas came out. Everyone lost their fucking mind, But did you find it a better experience shooting Terrifier 3 without I don't want to call it a burden, but the participation of crowdfunding? You guys were kind of independent of that this time.
Yeah, the crowdfunding thing was. I mean, look, we love our fans, and we're very happy to get our fans involved. And I'll tell you this: Terrifier 2 was very difficult to film because there was like 9 or 12 people. There wasn't many people making this film. So the filming of it itself was really difficult, but we had a blast doing it. Terrifier 3, more money, more problems. It's like, everything, there was a lot more stress, I should say, on it. And not within our group or our circle. It was just kind of like the outside trying to, powers that be.
Yeah.
But we were very cool in kind of shutting that out and letting it happen. And, again, we got what we needed, but I don't think it was as lighthearted, so to speak, because also now there's, again, the level is up again. And there's expectation that's even up again. So even though we had a blast doing it, we had a lot of fun. But it was easier to shoot, was my point that I was getting to. Yes. It was easier to shoot, but because of having more money doesn't always mean it's better in the sense of like ease and outside of the movie itself. Yeah. We can talk more when it's out, and I'll explain exactly.
Of course.
Because I don't want to give away any spoilers, obviously.
No.
But like again, now you're on the radar, and it's just like dealing with SAG, for example, was much tougher. Yeah. That's something that now they're watching you, and they feel that maybe, I don't know, maybe you made a movie that popped, and they say, well, how did they do that? Now they're watching every single thing, and there's kind of little hurdles that you have to get over that you normally didn't have to do before that, and they're ridiculous hurdles. But we did it. We did everything, but it's just nonsense. You deal with more nonsense.
Yep. Yeah, I can understand that.
Nonsense, don't we?
Yeah.
So, but great. It's a great movie, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. We did have a blast.
I do have one more question about Terrifier 3. Can you give us an estimated runtime?
I don't know if I can. No? It'll be shorter than Terrifier 2.
Okay.
Fair enough.
How's that?
That's fair. So 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Well, it will be shorter than Terrifier 2. I don't know exactly what the runtime is going to be yet because Damien's finishing it up now. Okay. And he's very close to it. But again, I don't know. I've seen, obviously, a lot of the scenes put together, but I haven't seen it as a whole. So I'm not sure where it's ending up yet.
All right. I just was trying. I was trying, man. You got to get,
I respect it.
Tarek says, It's kind of a cheap flex, but Michael can honestly brag his lowest Rotten Tomatoes score is 86.
I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
That's not bad. That's not
bad at all. That's pretty. That's pretty cool.
And he also beat me to it on this one. He says Abnormal Attraction currently on Tubi. So, yeah, that's where I checked it out. Interesting concept on that one. I enjoyed it. Yeah,
it's a fun campy movie. If anyone's looking for Terrifier watching it, I promise you will be very disappointed. But
it's very different. Yes,
it's very different, but it's a fun movie. It's got a lot of jokes. If you take a shot for every sexual joke or dick joke, you will be hammered by Act 1. But it's a campy movie. It's got a lot of. It's one of those ones. If you watch multiple times, you'll realize there's so much more going on than just what's in front of you. There's little things that each time is revealed with every watch.
Even that opening is pretty wild because there's so much that just happens that doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with the story that you're about to see, but it brings you into that world.
The world.
Like,
it establishes the world.
Yeah, get ready for some silly ass shit and let's have some fun.
Yeah. That's the movies I like to be a part of. Fun movies. I mean, you could see from my resume of films that I choose to be a part of or that I'm involved in making. No matter if they're horror, comedy, or anything in between, they're all fun movies that you can just have a good time watching and be entertained and get lost for a little bit.
Yeah. Check it out, guys. Let me know what you think later. All right. Terrifier 3 in theaters October 11th. But before we get to that, Stream comes to theaters August 21st. But you actually filmed this during the pandemic, and so it's kind of been in post-production for a couple of years. How did that amount of time help with the final cut of this film?
Yeah, it helped because it gave us time to, obviously, we wrote this movie before I was even involved with Terrifier, the franchise, period. It was back in like 2015 or so, 2016 that we wrote it. And then obviously we shot it during the pandemic after Terrifier 2 was shot. Damien was actually editing Terrifier 2 on the set of Stream in his hotel room. And again, taking a little bit of time, we were able to really hone in, get the effects right that were post effects. You know what I mean? We were able to raise a little bit more money to polish the film up. Obviously, Terrifier 2 comes out. We see the reaction with our fan base there. Terrifier 3 starts happening. So we're able to tweak little things as it goes. And again, just keep polishing the film. We got a great cast for anybody who doesn't know about it. It's Jeffrey Combs, Reanimator, Danielle Harris from Halloween, Tony Todd, Dee Wallace, Tim Reed, Felissa Rose. I mean, it's a wonderful, Bill Moseley. It's a wonderful cast. Mark Holton, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Leprechaun. He plays Ozzy. Yeah. And again, it's coming to theaters next week, August 21st through the 25th. It's a limited run. We're actually going to be at the end of the credits. If you stick around, there's some sneak peek behind the scenes stuff from our upcoming projects. So if you're interested in seeing what we have going on, you're going to see that behind. It's only exclusive to theaters. We're not releasing it outside of the theaters. And there's also something really cool you're going to see ahead of the, it's not announced yet, and I'll just give a hint. It's going to be ahead of the movie before it starts. There's a little sneak peek of something that, again, only exclusively in theaters. But again, it's a fun movie. It's a movie, and I say this, it's a movie made by genuine horror fans, for horror fans. It's not Terrifier, so everyone, I want them to know that going in. It's its own story. Settle in. We like to build our character, our family, and then once the roller coaster goes, after it goes up, it takes off, and it's a fun. It really is. We just had the world premiere in Manhattan, at the East Village Angelica, and I'll tell you, I know we have a good film here, and I'm very proud of it, but I didn't expect how well the reaction was really going to go over, because you don't know until an audience sees it. And it was they got everything. They laughed, they cheered, they screamed. It was just a fun environment. So I just try to get everybody, if you can, grab some friends, go see this thing in the theaters, settle in. And again, it's the way horror movies should be seen, with a crowd just laughing, screaming, and having a good time.
Yeah. And it looks like, according to the trailer anyway, Jeffrey Combs is just playing his greatest. He seems to always have so much fun playing roles like this one.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I tell you this, and I've said this to his manager. I've said this to Jeff. It's definitely in my opinion, his top 3 performances of his career. Ooh. Maybe even top 2. Definitely top 5. And and when you see it, you'll be able to name, like, you could probably name 4 or 5 of his best performances, and he's very, very good. He pours his heart and soul into this. I'm so proud of him. I'm so honored to have worked with him, and he delivers. He is so fun to watch, and I was just the fact that I was even able to sit there and see this live, and it was just, it's a trip.
Nice.
It's a trip. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Wait. If you were putting
Okay.
this at number 2, what is it going over? From Beyond or Reanimator? I got to know.
It's going over From Beyond. It's below Reanimator. Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, look, he's great. He's great in everything he does. But we actually had this discussion. And people did agree. So.
Nice. I do want to talk about the cast and even the premiere here in a little bit, but FaZe, you want to hit 11?
Sure. Let's see here. Yeah, tell us a little bit about the story of Stream. Like, how did the idea of the story come to you?
I tried to think of something that I would want to see that could be, again, exciting, scary, fun, and real. Very real. This could happen. And, it was kind of talking about, what do horror movies that I loved do best? They kind of exploit your safe space. And these safe spaces, though you think are safe, but they're really not safe because there's a lot of unknown elements about them. For example, one safe space is you go to the beach. You feel safe. You're at the beach, the warm weather. But there's a lot of unknown in that ocean, right? Jaws. That's exploited, that whole thing. Now, every time someone goes in the water, you hear that theme. I don't care who you are. Halloween did it with your neighborhood, your home. Michael infiltrated your home. Nightmare on Elm Street did it with your dreams. Friday the 13th did it with the camp. You know what I mean? So you could, Psycho did it with just taking a shower.
Maximum Overdrive did it at the truck stop.
Right. So it's just all these horror movies that stick with us, all exploited our safe space, but also those spaces make you realize there's a lot of unknown. So I was like, what is something that's a safe space now? And to me, it was this technology. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone's on the internet. Everyone's, and everyone deals with it. So everyone has a connection to it. And so I said, okay, there's this whole technological element of it. And I said, but I love slashers. So I said, how do we modernize the slasher genre? And that's where Stream, the idea, birthed. Because look, at the heart, when you watch this, it's a slasher movie. And that's what I'm most proud of, is that, we don't, some of these movies that try to build tech in, I think they go too far in getting lost in some of that stuff. And that's why a lot of them become these found footage tech things. And
right.
I don't know. I don't love those films, but Stream is a slasher at heart. It's back to the old school kind of way of doing things, but in a much more modern way. And it involves technology. And that's, again, it's hard to do, but I think we pulled it off. Okay.
So I've got a side question then. In Stream, do the cell phones work for people?
They do until they don't. And then there's a reason why they don't.
Okay.
That's
all I needed.
And that's the thing, is like there's a reason why they don't. And that's explained very clearly. And we give you a little bit more and a little bit more to where it makes sense. And one thing I'll say this too. In horror films, and this is kind of a spoiler, maybe not, but in horror films, the killer always is slow. And you're like, oh, why did they do that? That person could have easily gotten away, could have done this. With Stream, there's a reason why that happens. And it all makes sense because, I don't want to give too much, but there's a reason why that happens. And it gives a purpose to why certain killers move slow. It gives a purpose. Oh, why did they go over here for the scare instead of here for the easy kill? You know what I mean? And it's all built into the story.
All right. Okay. Well, as long as I don't see, Danielle just wandering around like, oh, no bars. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
No, there's none of that. I mean, we do a mention of it with and it's wide, but there's none of that cheesy
gotcha
crap.
Colonel, it sounded like you had something.
No, that was good.
No? Oh, okay. Let me hit Tarek's comment here. He says, it's not that they all ran out of batteries, is it?
There it is. You got it. The whole thing takes place in a nuclear power plant, and there's the radiation is burning their phones. No.
Hey, I haven't heard it before, so that works.
Original.
Why not?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Part 2.
The sequel. Yep.
Yep. Okay, let's do this one here. Dr. Smiley, actually, says Michael from from starting from neighborhood filming to working with absolute icons of horror. Have you taken it all in? Do you still get starstruck?
Every time I do it, I have to pinch myself and say, wow, this is incredible, because I don't think you ever get used to it. Do I get starstruck? I don't know. Maybe in the beginning, like when I first meet them, I'm excited and you're like, oh my God, this is so-and-so. But then once you get into it, it's just like, they're like everyone else. You just got to move through it. You got to, figure it out. But yeah, it is so cool. And I'm honored and humbled that I get to do this. And I keep trying to remind myself, because you never want to get jaded. You never want to forget where you came from. As my career, as anyone's career really progresses. And again, yeah, it's just staying grounded. And then just staying true to yourself and always remembering that,
All right. Well, for those that might not know, tell them a little bit about what Stream is about.
Sure. So Stream, at the root of it, Stream is about a family that is going through some rough times. And so they decide to recreate a vacation from their past, because that was kind of the last time that they had felt as a unit and happy. And it's really the last-ditch effort for the father to say, hey, I got to kind of take control of my teenage daughter before she really goes off the rails. And they end up going back to this old resort, and things are different. They're under new management, and things are very strange. And at first, it's a little bit of a mystery what's going on, but they find out there's a lot of upgrades and a lot of remodeling. And we learn as the movie progresses that there are 4 serial killers that are unleashed into the hotel while it's locked down, and they're murdering their guests for the most creative and crazy kills.
All right. Colonel, you want to do the
and they're competing.
Oh,
there's a competition too. Yeah. Colonel, you want to hit the end of 12?
Sure. Like I said, obviously you already listed all the big horror names in your cast. Just seriously, man. How the hell did you get everybody? How'd you pull it off?
Yeah, it all does start with the script for sure. We had a really cool script that when you read it and when you watch the film, you'll understand and see it. It's not your typical slasher at first, to where it's just like, all right, here's this just people that just you don't care about, or they're just here to die and there's no character development. We really invest in our story with our characters. We really build them up. More of like a drama at first, and you'll see that if you're really getting in with these characters, and then all of a sudden everything gets spun on its head, and now you care about these characters and you care about what's about to happen to them. So when Jeffrey Combs read the script, he goes, oh, he's like, this is like a real movie. He's like, there's a lot to do with this. There's a lot here and a lot of fun. And then I kind of kept getting the same thing from everyone. Like Tim Reed doesn't do horror. Tim Reed, anybody knows, last horror movie he did was Stephen King's It in the early 90s. He was Mike Hanlon. Yeah. Mike Hanlon, and he was, WKPR Cincinnati, Sister, incredible actor. And he told me flat out, he goes, I don't do horror. I don't really like horror. And I said, well, look, just take a look. This role would be perfect for you. And he read it. He goes, I really enjoyed this. I'm going to do it. He said there was something different here and something cool that we can experiment and try, and it's very relevant to now. And that's really kind of how it followed suit. And also, it wasn't a gimmick. You know what I mean? It could appear that way, where it's like, oh, you have Rose and Dave Sheridan and Jeffrey Combs and Danielle Harris and Dee Wallace. Right. It's like, okay, you're just throwing. But everybody that was selected were good for the roles. It just so happens, instead of getting on Actors Access and you cast this older woman that's in her 70s, we ended up getting a really great actress, Dee Wallace, and she fit the role. And it wasn't the tactic of let's just throw all these horror icons in a film. It became that once they were cast. It's like, oh well, they look at their resume, but they were really, because they fit the movie and they were good actors or actresses and they were perfect for the role.
I got go ahead, Frank. Hold on.
He got it right.
In, though. No, he didn't.
I thought he got it right.
No, he did it. He didn't.
All right, then.
I got to jump in on Tim Reed, and I've seen this on a couple other ones. It's WKRP.
WKRP. So what did I say? What did I say?
You've said WKPR every interview that I've seen. So
yeah. WKRP.
That's one of the best sitcoms of all time, man. Come on.
Yeah. I used to get it right, then I got it wrong, and I think I got it stuck in my head. Yeah.
We'll drill it into you by singing the song later. So
I'm glad you said what you said though about your cast, because I was concerned because they attempted something like this several years back.
You say Death House.
Exactly, and they called it the Expendables of horror.
Yeah, I know, and I've been trying to I know, as a horror fan, I know all about it, and I've been trying to reel in everybody from saying that because I know the connotation. Everybody was super excited for that film.
Yeah,
and so was I. And then when I saw it, I was like, ugh. But I'll tell you this, and there's actually a review that's out there because some people have seen the film now, obviously because of the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really proud. Somebody in the review said, "Look, this isn't a cameo where somebody shows up for a half a scene or a line and they disappear." That's what I was really, really happy with. And that's what, again, we didn't want to, once we knew how this was kind of being put together with these horror icons, we didn't want the fan base to say, oh, well, look at this cheap. They just got us with this one line. Now, look, not going to say some roles are bigger and smaller than others, for sure.
Fine.
That's just what it is. But everyone, you're going to be satisfied with their screen time. And more importantly, with their performance and their role, because they're all either integral to the story or they all come into play for a certain reason. And it's not just, I just saw a movie where it was like, who the hell was it? Richard Brake. You see him for a second, he turns and kind of waves and goes. And where is he for the rest of the film?
Oh, right.
And it's like, and what was the point of that? So,
that's strange.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I know what they're doing. I'm sure they're setting up the sequels and that he's coming back. So I get it. With that film, I get it, I guess. But there are so many of these movies where you'll see like Lisa Wilcox, or you'll see someone that just pops up for a half a second, says a line, or they're in a convenience store or they're whatever, and then they're gone. And it's just, and you don't even get it. They don't even get killed. They brought nothing to the story. You know what I mean? So, and you dupe the fans.
Yeah,
You
it was
really
just a name for the poster.
You marketed them on the poster, and that's also, I think you can kind of see that with our poster too, is like the stars are up there with the stars that you don't know about. And, and then there's other ones that are down at the bottom that we don't even have on our poster. And they're big names. You know what I mean? They're not even on the poster. There's one in particular that you're going to find out about probably next week when it leaks, that's in this film that hasn't been announced. And this one is probably the biggest name in the entire movie. And we don't even advertise, and they're not on the poster.
Awesome.
All right. Now, I don't know if it's going to leak because I'm seeing it like one of the first showings that plays in Oklahoma. So Ziggy hit 13 for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's leading us right through this. This is great. Besides your iconic cast, you've been pretty vocal about the talent of some of the lesser-known cast members as well. Let's put a spotlight on some of them and who they play in the film.
Yeah, Charles Edwin Powell is somebody I have to give a lot of spotlight to. He is the lead of the film. He is our hero. He is our father. He is Roy Keenan. He is such a great actor. He actually didn't act for 13 years because he left the business to raise a family. He's in The Exorcist 3. And it's funny, when we were trying to cast this role, trying to find a middle-aged man, an actor that's really good, that's affordable to be your lead in the entire film is near impossible, because either they're superstars and they're leading men, or they're dead. You know what I mean? And it's like, and if you try to go after, an actor that's of the age we were looking for, it's like, well, why didn't their career pop? There must be a reason. You know what I mean? It's like maybe they're not that great, or it's really hard to discover. They're out there, believe me, they are, but they're hard to discover. And we found him because, and I said, or it's someone who just decided to retire for some weird reason, and then now they're coming back. And that's exactly what we got.
Nice.
With Charles. We got so lucky. I'm telling you right now, if he would have stayed in the business for that 13 years and not retired, there's no way we would have been able to touch him. No way.
Nice.
No way. I mean, he was doing A-list stuff. Pierce Brosnan. The guy is so talented. And I can't wait for people to see him. They're going to fall in love with him as the father. They're going to go on this journey with him. He's so likable, so relatable. The other one is Wesley Holloway, who plays the son. He actually is the cereal commercial kid in Terrifier 2.
Oh, okay.
And he's got that small role there, but he's such a great actor. And when I met him, I said, I really want to give this kid a chance to have a leading role. And everyone coming out of that premiere was talking about that kid. And then also Taylor, the girl who plays Taylor, Sydney Malakai. So she is another one, a really great actress, very strong. And these are people that you don't know about, but you will once the film is out, and I hope that they get all the recognition that they deserve. And I feel bad because like the marketing of the movie, right, is all the horror icons and everything, because that's fun, and they got great roles. It's not just to do it to get you in the door, but it's to do it to show you who was a part of it. But that means that the lesser named people aren't going to get that attention.
Not
not
until the movie comes out.
And there it is. And not until the movie comes out. And
Right.
that's what I'm super excited about, is that fans are going to get to discover these people from going to see this film because of the producers Terrifier, because of Jeffrey Combs and Danielle. And through all of that, they're going to discover some really great new talent.
Yeah.
You got to get the asses in the seats, man. And those titles, those names will do it. And it's nothing wrong with doing that. It's fine.
Nope.
And we will discover these. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and there's a great photo from the premiere with you with your damn it, his name just left me, but
Charles.
With your lead, and a little story that goes along with it. I think it's on Instagram that I really enjoyed. So, Colonel 14.
All right, so Damien worked on the visual effects and makeup for Stream. Yeah, Stream. Sorry, bleh. Getting tongue tied. I'm sorry.
It happens to me all the time. Scream. I know.
WKPR.
See, now you said it back, and now you ruined it. Now you ruined
WKRP.
WKRP.
WKRP in Cincinnati. There we go. But can you give us any peeks and any effects we should be looking for when we see this movie? Because just based on the trailer, it looks fucking insane with the special effects.
Yeah, there's some really cool effects that Damien does, and the kills are they're awesome. Like I said, again, this isn't Terrifier, where we wanted to be very different with our kills. Art the Clown kills a certain way. He's very grotesque with some of his kills. You know what I mean? Like where he eats a heart or intestines, whatever. Like he's very that. With Stream, we wanted to bring in a little bit more of a mainstream audience as well. And at the same token, we wanted to give Damien an opportunity to do some things that are different, that he hasn't done with the Terrifier franchise or won't do with the Terrifier franchise, because it's not the way Art kills. So that's something that I'm super excited about. But trust me, it gets crazy. There's one in particular. So there's one that's surprising me, that it's probably like our most Terrifier-esque kill that people are talking about. I didn't expect people to be talking about this one as much as they are. I mean, I love it, but I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of people resonating to it. But there's one in particular that I'm really excited to see how audiences feel about it and talk about it, because to me, I've never seen it done. It's very creative. And I think it's one of those kills that like you'll say it, for example, the hacksaw scene or the bedroom scene, you'll say what this kill is, and you'll know exactly what film it's from, the movie it's from, because it's I've never seen it done before. And I'm really proud of that kill. And Damien pulled it off, and Phil, it's very cool kill.
All right. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Me and Colonel like the gore, so
Yes, we do.
You guys won't be disappointed.
No, like I said, based on the trailer, I know I won't. I'm pumped to see this, I'll be honest. And the gore is definitely a selling point for me. I'm ready.
So it's funny, like I said, we tried to tease our audience, and I'll tell you guys, we tried to tease our audience a little bit. It's like, are they going to show it? Are they going to show it? Are they going to, oh shit. And then it's like, we did try to, I mean, again, we tried a different approach in the beginning, and we said we wanted to kind of fuck with our audience a little bit and say, oh shit, they're really not going to show the kill. They're really not going to show this kill. And then we show every kill from there on out.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Like, we like to have fun and try different things too. And so.
Well, you mentioned you had the world premiere at the Village East in Manhattan. Looked like a fantastic night. A lot of the cast and crew there. First off, I want to say thanks for actually inviting Danielle, because I listened to her and Scout's show, Talk Scary to Me. And she always talks about, not getting invited to certain premieres. I think most recently it was Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, the remake. And she always kind of seems a little disappointed that, they used me for a cameo, but then forgot me, And, so thanks for bringing her along. And what was that night like for you? Just to be around everybody and
It was
celebrating.
It was very emotional, actually. Not like crying, but like very just. It was finally, we got it out there. There's a crowd that's going to see it. The reception was amazing. It was great that the cast shows up. That most of them came. The ones that were in town or able to make it that didn't have prior engagements. So it was really nice reunion to have everybody there, the cast and crew, and just to celebrate this movie that took a few years to make and everybody's hard work. It was in the beautiful, historic Village East Angelica Theater, gorgeous theater. It was almost 400, almost like 400 people were there.
Yeah.
And, they weren't just people involved in the film. I mean, obviously there were cast and crew and family members, but we had also extended the invite to some movie reviewers and podcasters and some industry people. Q from the Impractical Jokers showed up. I know, should have had you guys there. Q from the Impractical Jokers showed up. The creator of the Purge franchise was there. And he gave me a really awesome review of it the next morning. That was like so surreal to wake up to. Barbara Crampton showed up.
Oh wow!
And that was like, and Alex Vincent was there from the Chucky Fuzz. There were so many people that came out to support, and everybody just had a good time. And they got what we were trying to do. They understood, like, oh, this is a fun movie. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna scream. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be happy. You're gonna boo for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really engaging film once it really gets going. And again, I just can't wait to see how audiences, around the world respond to it.
Dang it, Joshua! I don't know if I should ask this.
Uh-oh.
Do you think we will get a sequel to stream and maybe even a trilogy?
I'll tell you this. It's not up to me. It's up to you guys. It's up to the fan base, really. Because, look, I could say, oh, this is great, or this is the next horror franchise, or any of those things. But the fact of the matter is, it comes down to the fans. If the fans like it and they want another one, there will be another one. We have ideas, obviously, that we would love to do and explore. And there's some really great things that we want to do. And I hope we get a chance to do it, because there's so much more story to tell. And there's so much more things that I'd like to exploit in this universe and really, really capitalize on. And again, as artists, you grow too. And there's so much more that just from now working on Terrifier 3 and like, oh, wow, we can try this now with stream. And so, but again, if the fan base can show up first and foremost, because numbers and people showing up means something. It really does, especially for indie horror. The studios can just pump out these movies, whether people like them or not. They have the big budgets. They have the studios behind them. They could do what they believe will sell or not sell. With us, it's really driven by the base. And if you show up, and then again, if you like it, but you got to show up first to know if you're going to like it. So I implore you guys, please, if you can, go to the theaters. It's in there for a limited time. Bring your friends, drag your friends, buy your tickets, go see the film. I don't think we're going to let you down. We've put our heart and soul into it. I really think you're going to enjoy it. It's a fun ride. I've said that numerous times. And I'm just saying, give us a chance.
Asses in seats, folks. That's what we need.
Right.
That's it.
That's right.
Everybody complains about the cookie cutter Blumhouse movies.
Dude,
Stop seeing those. Go see stream. This is what we want. New IPs, new shit.
I think
Colonel, we got to have this guy. They got to their team's got to crank out the input to keep up with the shit Blumhouse keeps throwing at us. So, and I mean, we get shit Blumhouse.
And this is how and this is how you do it, because I mean, look, whether you like In a Violent Nature or not, right? I've heard mixed
that's
reviews.
where I was going.
If you like that film or not, it's something new. It's a new concept, and it popped in the sense of because people showed up.
There were butts and seats.
There were butts and seats, and look what that film got. For me, I thought there were some cool things. There were things I didn't like about it, obviously. Right. But again, I applaud those filmmakers though for doing something, getting a buzz, fans showing up, and now they're getting a sequel.
Yep.
So so again, whether you like the film or not, there's enough people that do, and they're getting a sequel. And it's tough to do. Terrifier would not exist without our fans. We got those sequels because our fans showed up and supported.
Yep. In a Violent Nature, interesting concept.
Yes.
A little bit long in the tooth on trying to tell the story.
Right. I agree. And there's some cool things in there. That one show everyone talks about, and there's that other one. I mean, there's some cool things, but it's the concept I think was better than the execution of the film. in certain areas because it did get long. It did get long in the tooth, and I think that's inevitable with that kind of a film.
The gimmick gets old, man.
Right, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. It gets a little old, but again, I like I said, it's something that they tried and they did, and now they got a franchise potentially out of it. And maybe again, they'll learn and listen to the reviews if they're smart, like and the people like we try to do, and they'll say, okay, how do we elevate this next time? How do we make this better? Look at the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah.
The first, I didn't see either of them, but I've heard there's a huge jump from the first to the second, and again, that was because they listened.
Yeah, I hope so because that first was abysmal.
Yeah, I heard I heard the production values through the roof. I heard that it's better, and look, they got another shot at it, and that's because the fans showed up, and and look. Like I said, I believe we have a really good film here, and I'm not just asking you to come out just to make a quick buck, just to come out. I think you will really enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun, and just to give it a chance.
I'm definitely looking forward to it because, like you said, it's a different take on a slasher. It's 4 slashers, and the competition aspect is very interesting as well too. So
that's what and that's what it is. For example, this was compared to somebody said, well, it's like Saw or it's like 31, right? Somebody said that.
Oh,
and
okay.
But I'll tell you this. But I'll tell you this. Here's the difference. Very simple. In Saw and 31, the victims are the ones basically competing to get out. It's not the killers that are competing. So right then and there, it's already a little different from that aspect. But when you actually watch the film, you'll see it's nothing like Saw and nothing like 31 at all. When you actually watch Stream,
it's not The Running Man,
right?
No,
I like it because it has like kind of a video game flavor to it too. I mean, that's what's happening right now. So I mean,
it does. And like I said, I've listened to things, but again, I have not seen something. It's always the victims are in this competition, and their victims are the ones that in the traps and all this stuff. But it's a competition between the killers, and that's like, what drives them? What is going on here? And the victims are just these poor bastards, and that are just kind of caught in the middle of all this. Wrong place, wrong time.
All right, Ziggy, it's lengthy. Do you want 16 or do you want me to take it?
I can take it, man. It's fine. Besides Terrifier 3, you're also attached as a producer on a couple other projects coming next year. One is a Screamboat, a Steamboat Willie style horror film with DHT himself, and the Pitchfork Retreat, featuring some of the same cast of Stream. What can you tell us about these, and when can we expect them?
Yeah, Screamboat will be next year, early next year at some point. It's got David Howard Thornton in it, and it's a different kind of project. It's a horror comedy, so going back to doing some of that. Again, the source material kind of lends itself to doing that, and I joined this film because of that. I said if we're gonna do this, then it has to be kind of satire in a way, and got to have fun with it. I'm not a huge fan of the public domain films. Myself personally, I like more of the original stuff, but there was an opportunity here with this one that we could really have some fun with it and do some spoofy things, but also keep it creepy and scary too. And it had a nice blend of mix. And also the director's a friend of mine I went to high school with, and he actually did the Mean one with David Howard Thornton a while back. Yeah. And we were looking for a project to kind of, with his success with that and our success with Terrifier, to collaborate on and, bring production value up. And so we landed on this one. And again, it's close to home because it takes place kind of in Staten Island in a way. And it's a fun movie. Again, I keep going back to I pick scripts that could be fun and they're really entertaining. And I'm excited for that one. You guys are going to like it. There's some really crazy stuff in that. And then the other one, the Pitchfork Retreat, is something totally different. It's a great writer, this guy, Greg Van Voorhees. We actually helped each other out. He helped me get some cast for Stream, and I helped him get some cast for Pitchfork. That's why the cast is similar, and also because they all want to work with us again. And, we work with the same people, good people over and over again. And his style is more like an A24 kind of horror. I call it more film festival-y horror, but it's good. It's got a cool story, and it's different. And again, it's another project that I have never done anything like it, and it piqued my interest. And he's just a good person, got a good family, and I was honored to join it. And I can't wait for everybody to see that. That'll be later next year.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm very interested in the Pitchfork Retreat because I read the synopsis of that, and I like the
Yeah, it's
the
different.
setup.
Yeah, it's different. It's cool. It is. And I've seen a couple of rough cuts of it, and now they're honing it in and polishing it, and it's a cool film.
Well, Tarek has another good comment here. He says, if you do a sequel for Stream and Charles Powell returns, we got to call it Streamers because Powell was also typecast on Screamers. So.
Yep. We'll have to do that if we bring Charles back. That's all. How do you not bring Charles back? He's the man.
There you go. Tarek is Tarek has a web that goes through his brain that is just meticulous about things like that.
I love it. That's awesome.
Since you brought up A24 and the film festival stuff, normally we try to ask this of filmmakers, but I didn't write this down this time. What do you feel about the current slate of horror now and like the direction it's going? I see the nod already.
I'm not a highbrow. Is that what they call it? Right? Highbrow.
I
horror.
guess, yeah.
Some of it's cool. Like I liked. Again, I'm going to get them all confused because they all end up blending, becoming the same. Like the Jordan Peele, they all start to become the same to me. Me personally, like I said, I'm an old school guy. I like some of that old school horror stuff. I am a big fan, and this is nothing to do with A24, but I am a big fan of the Conjuring series, the first two. I really enjoy those. I like Mike Flanagan's work. I like Haunting a Hill House for sure. So there's that kind of newer horror I'm into. And there's that one, I don't know, what's the one where they're doing the operation on the brains and they're in like the farmhouse and I don't know. It's one of those.
Oh shit.
I think it's not Us. It's the other one. It's
Get Out.
Get Out. I like that one a lot. But the other horror ones, these kind of highbrow horrors, I just feel like some of them, not all of them, are trying a little too hard with these social commentary things that are throwing them so much in your face. And I think I think for me, social commentary is always in horror, right? It's been there forever. It's been there since, right? But I liked more when it was kind of in the background and you get discovered on your own.
When it was subtle.
Right. And not where it's so much in your face to where it's like, this is what everyone can agree this is what it is because it's so obvious. Whereas I like the debate of, no, it is this and no, it's not. And yes, it is. And then, well, maybe it's this with a twist. That's just me personally. Not saying that there's not a great audience for it. Not saying that there's not a lot of great things that come out of them. Not saying that I haven't enjoyed a few of them. It's just I'm more of the old school way than that.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Blumhouse. Stop it with your in-the-face social commentary. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Michael fits in with us because I think we say that every time. We're not stupid. The ones writing crayon. This is what you should be thinking. Let me figure it out on my own.
Right, and I think debate is important. Of whether it's meant to be that or not, to kind of have opinion and say, well, it's this. Like, there's so many horror movies that I didn't even realize what the commentary was, and I kind of figured it out on my own getting older, and that was kind of cool too. But then also learning from someone saying, I think it's like this. I'm like, no, it's not. Are you out of your mind? No, you know what I mean? Like that, I like that part of it. Whereas now it's really hard to say whether it is or isn't because it's so in your face. It's like, yeah, this is what it is. They're saying this is what it is. They're telling you.
I just caught it, and then Tarek caught it too, I guess, a little bit earlier. But when you said you're out of your mind, you hit that New York accent hard. Michael says horror in that upper East Coast way. I love it.
Hey,
I watched this interview that you did with oh damn it, it was Up Late with Johnny Potenza. Yeah. Oh my God, talk about a New York fucking show right there.
Oh yeah,
that was beautiful to watch.
And you go in. He's got a tray of mozzarella, and he's got gabagool, and he's got prosciutto, and you go in there and you have a cappuccino before you go on. They feed you well. The Italians, they feed you well.
Oh yeah, but he even says at some point during I can't remember what part it was in the interview, but he's like, yeah, forget about it. He says that to you. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He said it.
And that is him. That is really him. That's like not a persona. You see him in the street, like outside of his show, and he's like, "Hey, yo, Mike, when what's going on? You want to come back on the show?" He's a great guy, a good dude, but He's a character. He should someone that I would love to see him on a national spotlight because.
Oh, dude, it was just such a fun interview. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some more of his stuff just because it was.
And he's got some big guests. He does. He gets some big guests that if you go, he had William Forsythe on the show. He has some big guests. Yeah.
Nice. All right, Colonel, you want 17?
Sure. So, Michael, is there anything else that you could tell us coming soon from Fuzz on the Lens?
Right now, it's just that all eyes are on stream, and that's where we're at. Hopefully, like I said, everybody shows up. Obviously, we have Terrifier 3. We have Screamboat. Right now, those are the big three that we're talking about, and then next year we'll go more into Pitchfork Retreat and kind of assess where we want to go from there. We have a lot of options and a lot of stories that we want to tell and be a part of, and it's just a matter of how do we navigate them. And again, it's dictated from you guys. It's dictated from our fans. If you guys want to see another Terrifier and another stream, and you'll get it. And it's just a matter of when do we do them? Do you guys want it now? Is it later? So we're kind of leaving every option open.
Yeah, guys, we got to get out there and get some money. He's got to get that Terrifier money back from getting Stream done, or who knows? It's in New York here, so.
Like I said, I'm going to one of the first screenings on Wednesday.
Yep.
I have to go to one of the first screenings because I got to get back here for work. But
please. Let's see it. Tell, and look, if you like it, let everybody know. Again, it's that word of mouth. We're trying to tell everybody get the pre-sales now, so this way. But I know that's tough because obviously you never know when. I never bought a pre-sale ticket in my life personally. I pick when I know it's coming out this weekend. Figure it out. But if you can, that actually helps a lot because the theaters are watching. So if you know when you're open, please try to get it.
I'll get on my AMC app right after this and set that up.
MJR theaters done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Couple more little comments here. You already kind of talked a little bit about this, but Patricia wants to know, what are some of your favorite movies growing up? Did any of those movies inspire you? On the piggyback with that, Tarek wants to know if he's got any top book recommendations of any genre as well.
Wow, that's a good one. The one about the movies. I talked about a few of them earlier. Obviously, talked about Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. But there's also, I was a really big fan as a kid, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, actually. And I think my love for horror came a lot out of that too, because that the child catcher was the villain and he was kind of scary. And again, it's seeing these things at the right time. They go to this mystical land and the kids are in the dungeon and they get locked away. I mean, it's a dark film. If you really think about it, so like there was a lot of that was inspirational. Obviously, I talked about Goosebumps and You're Afraid of the Dark. So those are really a lot of inspirations growing up for sure.
All right. How about books?
I'll tell you, I haven't read much lately, so I don't know any new ones that I would recommend, especially in the genre horror stuff. I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that one because I don't want to just throw one out there that's not genuine.
I got you.
Yeah, coming at you, man. For you, you can read the Where the Hell is Michael Myers? The whole story of Halloween 3 from Tommy Lee Wallace.
Oh, yeah. I have the book, actually. Dude, I do have the book.
It's awesome. It's so good. It's so good.
I actually really like Halloween 3. I'll tell you this. And I didn't give it a chance when I was a kid. I hated it because I was, again, Michael Myers in this. And I know this has been said. If it was just called Season of Witch, it probably would have been super popular back then. But it was because it was Halloween 3, right? I love Tom Atkins. Night of the Creeps. Everything he's in, he's fantastic. And I finally revisited Halloween 3 probably 7 years ago for the first time. Watched it. The atmosphere in that movie. It's Halloween. It's great. It's one of my top favorite go-tos now. And every time October comes around, I pop it in. I enjoy it so much.
Nice.
Michael's one of us, man.
Well, and I think that happened to a ton of people, including, I would say, most of us, weren't fans of it when it came out, but, it grows on you over the years once you
kind of the point of that book, but it's really cool hearing Tommy tell the rise.
Cool. I got to read it.
Yeah,
I got to read it. I got the Leprechaun one too for the Colonel over there.
Oh, no.
Nice. Any other questions, guys? Anybody?
Well, I have to ask, what's your favorite episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because I'm recently rewatching it with my youngest daughter, taking her back to my childhood.
Okay.
Yes.
Boy, the acting's fucking terrible. But
I mean, look, again, the time when you watch it. I always enjoyed Watchman's Woods. I enjoyed everything when that Dr. Vink was in. I was always a big fan. The one when Nosferatu comes out.
Yes.
Of the soup one, when they have the scare soup, and your thoughts kind of manifest. That was always a good one. The one with the Joker, the comic book. What was that?
Yes, that was a good one too.
That was a really good one. The Jester. There's so many of them that I really enjoyed. And if for Goosebumps, watch Horrorland was a great one, and Welcome to Death House.
Yeah, those are great. And the Haunted Mask is my go-to for Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah, the Haunted.
You gotta watch this every Halloween.
Yeah, the Haunted Mask too. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and the thing is that there's so many. Are You Afraid of the Dark ones? There's the one too when they go up to this weird elevator and like it opens up into like this world, and it's like these two. I think Paul Rubens might even play one of the people. I don't know. There's like one with Gilbert Gottfried where it's like the phone police. There's so many good ones like that you can make adult version horror films off of these too, and like
Nice. Hey, I just admire the fact that you like Mike Flanagan. So yeah. Because that is a topic of conversation on this show quite a bit. So. Ronald's here. He says, "What's up, Michael?"
There he is. Ronald Black. Got to give him a shout. He is the first person that he went and got a stream tattoo. He has it on his arm. The movie's not even out yet. He has Player One. He started the official Join the Stream Facebook group. He's the man. He's been so supportive of us. And, I really hope he likes the movie.
I hope so too now.
He's awesome. He'll be fine.
That's great. Joe's here, and he says, "Hey, I met you on Saturday and forgot to ask you who came up with the look of the stream mask." And he says, goes on to say, "You and the stream team were the highlight of my day." So,
thank you. It was a collaboration between myself, Steve Delasalle, and my brother Jason. We kind of went back and forth. I'll tell you, the process of it was similar to Damien Leone's process with how he designed Art the Clown, which was we tried to say, okay, what kind of masks are out there that are popular and do the opposite of? And, there's Ghostface, the face is white. There's Michael Myers, the face is white. There's Jason Voorhees, the face is white. So we're like, okay, let's go not white. That was obvious one. Also, a lot of the masks, other than maybe Friday the 13th, they were all this rubber, mushy mask. So we went with a hard carbon fiber look. Also, the carbon fiber look was because we wanted to make it more modern looking. Our original idea was to actually have it be like the glass of a cell phone. But once we designed that, like when it's off, like when the cell phone is like this.
Right.
But there was a lot of reflections that was causing very big problems when you're making a movie. So we got rid of that and went to the carbon fiber. Again, the mouth being open and seeing the smile as opposed to Michael's mouth shut. Jason's got none. Ghostface open, but there's no teeth. So there was a lot of those, in designing the mask. And then obviously the biggest thing was bringing the tech into it, which was the light up LED eyes. And the story behind that is for gamers, back in the old days, again, I don't play much games now, but when you were playing the old PlayStations and stuff, it was player one blue, player two green, red, and yellow. And so we went off of that. And that's why each player has their eyes light up. It'd be like the multiplayer screen with the old gaming systems.
That's pretty fucking cool, man.
No shit.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Those masks look good. The posters look really good. I mean, boy, that's like that. You had that iconic moment, just like they did back when they made Halloween. They had the clown mask in there, and they had this one. Hopefully, you guys made the right ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I like them. I the way they ended up, because in the beginning we really didn't know. We just knew, there's a mask figure, right? It's like, well, what are these things going to look like? Are they going to be a giant Bitmoji because it's modern? It's like, what is that? I mean, it's like how are we going to do this? And then we even had the idea. The Squid Games, when that came out originally, and obviously this was written before Squid Games, but this was shot before Squid Games. This was, when that movie came out, show came out, I went, fuck. And again, it's really nothing like it once I started to watch it. But again, anything that's similar, you start to say, shit, is this coming out too late? But it gave me hope too, because again, it's different. But I saw the audiences that were latching onto it. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is in. People will get into this. But we actually had an original idea where the mask would be like the digital lights like they had on their masks, and the painted. We had that idea too at some point.
Mm.
I'm glad, thank God we didn't do that, because then it would have really been bad.
You know what? If it's in the spirit of Squid Game, man, I got sucked into that fucking thing. I didn't think I was
Yeah, it was
going
cool.
to. I really dug it, man. So
it's similar to an
exceptionally
extent.
even, just loosely,
Yeah,
like
it's very loosely similar things there, but overall it's not, because that's more again, people competition based like levels, but there's a lot of behind the scenes within Squid Games that are similar parallels with us, which is cool, because that's some of the most interesting stuff of that show too.
Well, it looks like Tarek has closed his cross-examination of you. No further questions, your horror. So that's good. Well, no, he wants a redirect, I guess.
Here we go.
Oh, here you go. Might also flop this if he's not a game. You kind of mentioned it, but any top tier video games for you? You mentioned you're not a gamer anymore, but
not anymore. I mean, obviously the Fortnites. I still play those every once in a while. I always liked Call of Duty as well. Was big. I was also a big Mortal Kombat fan. I like that, but then also the old school ones like Mario, Luigi, Crash Bandicoot. I was a big Crash Bandicoot guy. I like Spyro. All older games, but those were the games that I enjoyed growing up.
Nice.
There was a game called Toomba. I don't know if anybody ever played that. I
don't remember that one.
It was not many people played it, but I did.
Well, we actually all met playing the newest Friday the 13th game.
I love that. And I just heard today they announced the Halloween games coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like the Friday the 13th, and I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Those I did play. My buddy Damien Maffei is the voice of Johnny.
Yeah. Yep. We hate Johnny, but
we just met what's-her-face at Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah, Maria from cool. Texas also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right. That looks like all the questions in there. Michael, I just want to say thanks again for joining us. It's been great chatting with you and talking about the movies. Everybody, get your asses out to the seats. August 21st for stream. Only playing that weekend, so catch it that week. And then, of course, October 11th for Terrifier 3. And, there goes FaZe right on time, dropping the trailer link if you haven't seen it. Make sure to head on over to Fuzz on the Lens on YouTube and check out the trailer. You want to mention your social media links or where you're at?
Yeah. I mean, mostly if you follow Fuzz on the Lens, you'll find me. Stream Franchise. I'm Levis Island on Instagram. Michael Leavy on Facebook and Leave16 on X. So but Fuzz on the Lens, you'll find me.
All right. Sounds great, man. Well, again, thanks for joining us, and we'll definitely be let's maybe talk next year whenever either Screamboat or the Pitchfork retreat is coming.
DM me once you see stream. Love to hear what you guys
Will do.
Oh, for sure, dude. We love doing that.
Awesome.
We'll do.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, have a good night, man, and we'll catch you on the other side.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
You phased him.
I phased him accidentally.
Who's being the asshole?
What the fuck?
Hey, everybody calm down.
Dick.
I thought he was done. I phased him. That's hysterical. Oh, man, that was fun, though. I love the interviews, man.
Dude, I mean, we're getting so many of these fascinating guys coming up, people coming up through the industry and everything.
Holy shit, you phased Leavy.
See?
Oh, that's funny.
There he goes.
Yep. I love doing these interviews, man.
Yeah, it is fun. And that one that we didn't get the echo on this one, thank God.
Nope.
So I think what happened is she was adjusting something and she might have tapped her. She got her phone starting to kick it. It was coming out of the phone speaker.
Yeah.
Yesterday when we were doing that shit. So.
Yeah, she had to turn it up or something.
That was yesterday. We don't need to talk about that.
All right. It was a great interview anyway.
Yeah. We kind of jumped right into the interview. So how was the week, guys? Colonel, start with you.
Typical week, man. Just counting down the days of fucking school. We're almost there. 2 more days. Wow. Man, my grocery bill's going to fucking love it. I tell you that.
Yeah. My kid don't start
2 days, man. They're starting like 2 weeks earlier than they usually do this year. I don't know why. And they're only getting out like a week earlier than usual. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't know. You gotta love these independent school systems, man.
I think you're going to have more just random Fridays off. like
I
throughout
think
the
that's what we're
year.
going to do. Shit, man. After they're starting like next Wednesday is when they get their early releases every fucking Wednesday until the end of April. Like they get out at fucking 1:00 every fucking Wednesday. Lucky little bastards. I wish I got out early every fucking once a week at work. Shit got me turning to the side. I'm about to go on my rant here. Like, now listen.
Now look at here.
Look at here now.
Bullshit.
Oh, dude, and guys, you gotta go and find that interview with Michael and Up Late with Johnny Patanzo or whatever it was.
It sounds fun as hell, man. New York
Jesus Christ.
Hey, forget about it.
I haven't seen anything so fucking New York since like Goodfellas in a while. You know, it was just great television. Great fucking television. FaZe, how was your week?
It's going well. I found a link to that interview, so I'm going to throw it up on the.
Oh, did you? Yes,
as
do.
soon as I can.
You found it.
Yeah, no, my week was all right. I mean, I was delivering on Wednesday, and my car broke down, so I had it towed to a shop, and it's done. Engine's done, so I had to go get a new car. FaZe has a new car now.
Nice.
On
Yay.
another car loan. Yay. It's a
Nice.
Toyota.
You mentioned it's a hybrid, so you're one of those saving the earth, climate change.
I'm saving my money.
You can plug that fucker in.
Oh, that's not a
saving
plug-in, is
twice
it?
as much on gas. What's up?
Yeah, it's not a plug-in though, is it?
No. Hybrid still takes gas.
Right. It just generates its own energy in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, good for you. Glad you got a new car. So,
I'll be able to still travel for you guys.
yay!
Yeah.
That was important.
Yeah.
I gotta
We're-
see if we have a drop. Sorry. Go ahead.
We were gonna have to figure something out, but yeah, that was important. Ziggy, how about you? Good week.
It was cool, man. I'm getting my son over in my school district here, and today we went to the doctors.
Went to get
3
the
shots, 3 of them, man. Fuck,
Triple poke.
They
Damn.
zapped him, man. But he didn't want to have the hernia check.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude, I always hated the hernia check at my sports physical.
Yeah.
I said,
I
I
know
go,
what
hey,
you're talking about.
I go, they're gonna yank your shorts down and take a look at your package. He's like, what? How come? I go, because they got to check for a hernia, dude. It's no big deal. Every guy has done this. It ain't a thing. And then like his mom was like, well, he ain't going out for sports, so maybe they won't do it. I was like, yeah, maybe they won't do it. So we get through the whole thing. He's like, okay, Grayson, I need to check your testicles. And he just froze and looked at me, and I was like, hop on down, drop your shorts. I stayed in the room with him and stuff, but he was all right.
Jesus Christ.
It was-
That's funny.
Speaking of sports, I'm disappointed the drop's not in there because it's that time of year. I will add one more thing about this week. God damn, the starters for the Bengals look fucking good. I know it's preseason. It's going to change in week 1. But, man, it was nice to see my boy Joe Burrow out there flipping the fucking ball to T. Higgins. So, man, last year we got it. So
He's wanting the money, though. Your other boy.
no, dude, Chase hasn't even practiced this training camp yet. So he's practically already holding out. He's there, but he ain't fucking playing.
Oh
2 years
boy.
left. But that's it. With DCS Sports, there's my update. I
Yeah.
had to throw it out there.
We'll find the DCS Sports bumper again when football season actually begins. People give them a respite until then.
Yeah. I'll find that drop and throw it back in here at some point pretty soon. We do need the DCS Sports drop. God damn it, it is that time.
It is.
And all our teams are pretty good. That's what's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, absolutely get out there. August 21st through the 25th, I think he said. Check out Stream. Let's support these. Let's support this guy, check out the movie Stream. August 21st in theaters for a limited time. I had a pretty good week. It was just busy, doing karaoke stuff. Nothing too out of my normal. But it was a fun time. Couple of weird shows, but fun time.
Couple of weird shows, and
There's always a couple of weird shows.
And some things started happening, but that stuff we'll talk about up the road. But it was it really gave me a jolt. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, you mean the yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We can't talk about that yet.
No, we can't. But
Double F?
fuck, folks. Oh fuck.
Can't talk about that yet. BK wants to know. Hold on, let me get to it. There we go. Ziggy, is it playing around us stream? Yeah, it should be.
Sure is, buddy. The usual place.
MJR.
Let me know when you want to go.
That theater get every fucking thing, and I gotta drive miles upon miles to see fucking anything like this.
What, Cincinnati doesn't get it?
Does, but not close enough to me where I want to go. Like this, I will, but
I mean, I got to drive an hour, but
that's usually it's usually about half an hour to an hour away.
Are we actually reviewing this on the show, or
no?
If we are or not, go support it. Damn it, I'm tired of
that's
watching.
what I mean. Just saying. I mean,
It's yeah. I don't think we're going to review it, but it's not on the calendar. But I mean, we can give our thoughts on it.
Yeah, we could give a couple of minutes to it, but I mean, it's just the way the schedule fucking fell, man. You know, it's
right. Well, I guess I could kind of tease what's coming up. There may, folks, even be some bonus footage tomorrow. And actually, we're going to probably cut this a little bit short tonight so we can do this. But the trailer for It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2 drops tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we can't show you, but we get a sneak peek of it. We're going to do a little trailer reaction of it and post that tomorrow sometime, probably shortly after they drop the trailer.
1 a.m. Okay.
Hey, we're backers on this thing, so I mean,
that's right.
Can't wait. And then I'm sure once release date's coming down, we'll get Dave and Bruce, right?
They're already booked.
They're booked. They're coming on. We're gonna get down with some Black Christmas fan films, high quality stuff. I can't wait.
Yep. They're coming on, I think, October 7th. Yep.
Okay.
So
that's right.
That's right before it drops.
Ooh.
So
I still got to kiss his ass for his Freddy portrayal, man.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Jeez.
So we've got that coming out tomorrow. Once we record it tonight and kind of do a little bit of choppity chop in the editing room. But next week, it's the one that a lot of you have been messaging me about. Jesus Christ. It's amazing how many conversations about Alien I've had over the last 2 weeks. But Alien Romulus comes out this weekend, and we're going to be reviewing it next Monday, along with a franchise ranking list. Now, we're not going to go through. We're going to shorten the list, but
did you figure out what you're replacing that with?
Not yet.
We were going to separate.
I kind of know what it was. I know what it was, but I haven't booked it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
Tarek says, "No, I need to be there for the Alien review." Fuck. You can watch us in the mountains or wherever you're going. You know, the internet goes almost everywhere, man. He said something about going on
to Alaska, actually.
Going to Alaska or something.
They'll be there when you get back.
Yeah. So there you go. Alaska for a week. Miss next Monday's show. Need to see the mountains again. Gandalf. Mountains.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Forward to next week.
So yes. Oh, I know FaZe is ready.
Yeah, FaZe all smiling down there. He's just like,
I got a new car. I get to watch Alien.
Oh yeah, I've been watching
He's
all
happy.
the movies, dude. It's been good.
So far.
I told Ziggy earlier today. I was gonna harass Michael if he misspoke WKRP again, because every interview I watched, he said it backwards, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
I heard WK, and I went okay, but then he said PR, didn't he?
He did. He said PR. So
and you were
Yo.
But that was funny. Man, everyone's missing tomorrow or next week. Well, fine.
What's going on?
You guys have lives. It's okay.
I don't blame them. I would too. Reckon like the Alien franchise is the best. I'm just trying to get FaZe worked up.
That does work. That does include AVP and AVP 2 Requiem. So
I'm aware. I'm just saying there's my top two are fucking solid. Everything else, I think you just swap around. I really wouldn't give a shit.
I think I just listed your bottom two.
Damn it.
Probably so.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, so there you go, folks. That's what's next week. And like I said, we got a little bonus content coming to you tomorrow. What
3 days in a row? What the fuck, man?
I know. We're busy, baby. We're busy. Oh, man. Actually, I'm going to look at the poll that we posted
that's true.
last week, and I'm not going to be able to show the results, but I'll be able to tell you guys what's going on here. We asked on YouTube, which August horror film release are you most excited for? It was Cuckoo, which came out on Friday, Alien Romulus, which comes out this Friday, Stream coming out the week after, and then The Crow, which comes out the week after as well. Thank God that
That's the Alien.
there was a shift in tone at the end of this vote, but 48% say Alien Romulus. So,
boom, there you go.
Yep. For a while there, Alien and The Crow were like neck and neck, and I was like, I felt like Kyle in South Park, like, really? You know, it's like over and over. Like, really? I couldn't get over it.
I don't understand how it could have been even neck and neck to begin with. Like,
I know,
who the
dude.
fuck wants to see The Crow? Like,
Dude, the first vote was for The Crow. Mm-hmm. You know, as soon as I posted it, like seconds later, hey, you got to vote. I'm like, what the hell?
People are wanting it.
It was for The Crow. Crow came in second at 23%. Cuckoo 17%, and unfortunately, Stream came in at 12%. But hopefully tonight, change some minds out there, and some of you will get out there and watch Stream.
I mean, if you're going to see all of them, that's great. You know, that was kind of like the scenario. Your favorite. I mean, but you can still see them all.
Well, in 2 weeks, we do a Crow review and a remake versus original. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you think. Fuck that shit. I'm out.
We have to go see that shit, don't we? You know what? I'll be honest. I see glimpses of them trying to apply that graphic novel. So that's what I'm going to see. And see if they do.
And Colonel, somebody sent you somebody sent Adam, I think.
Adam,
sent you
sent me the graphic novel, yeah.
So, well, you got some reading material there to pony along with. So
I love that graphic novel too. That is, I've had that thing for 27 years.
I haven't read it in years, but Jesus, yeah, it was
so
great.
Powerful, man.
Corey wants to know, how is The Crow beating any film in that poll?
A good question.
Yeah. That is a good question. All right. Well, guys, like I said, we're gonna wrap it up a little bit early so we can take care of some other business. But before we go, gotta thank our members one more time. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert. Our Crazy Ralph's Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And of course, our camp counselors. Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
He's lightheaded.
You can become a member and support the DCS. Go on over to the membership page and check out the details on there. As always.
Crank, you're underwater.
Something there.
You're underwater.
Oh,
there he is.
Yeah,
did my mic go
for a second?
Did my mic go funky?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, become a member. Check out the DCS at deathcursesociety.com. Check out the membership page and see what you like.
I mean,
check out the details on there.
It was like you stuck the microphone up your ass and we could still hear just it coming from your mouth, but muffled. You know what I mean? It was not good.
Neither I nor the viewers need that, like visual in their head.
I'm just saying.
Now, here's a visual. Imagine Mike Flanagan, Crank spreading his cheeks and telling about how great he is, you know, with a little bit of tongue action mixed in. That's what it sounded like.
We're not making another fucking shirt like that. That's for goddamn sure. No.
And Mike Flanagan's actual comments to Crank at that moment.
Smell my ass.
Dude, where did that come from?
I'm not making that graphic now.
Son of a bitch. God.
That's right.
Anyway, also thanks to our associate producer, FaZe. FaZe, good work tonight. Appreciate all the starring comments and all that. So, anything else?
No, I don't think so. Super good.
Fucking nailed it.
I'm not going to do it because I FaZe Leavy, so I don't have to FaZe tonight.
We're on a roll. Yep, we're on a roll. Yeah, you FaZe Leavy. I mean, why the gag's been played out tonight? I mean, shit. Fuck.
That should be the gimmick. We unceremoniously send them out at the end of the
Horrible
That's how we
exit
keep 'em
from the show,
coming
right?
back.
You know, just cut a mid-sentence.
Oh fuck. Anyway. No, what'd you think tonight, FaZe?
No, it was
Yeah, there we go. All right. No. I even tried to pull it off like I was doing something else, looking over here at the comments and
yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching us just laugh at our own stupid jokes for 2 hours. And go and check out Stream when it comes out. And go check out Alien Romulus this weekend. And we'll see you on Monday to talk about that and rank all the Alien franchise films. So for the Colonel, for Zigzag, for FaZe, I'm Red Crank saying DCS out. See you next week. Oh, Colonel, one more thing you got to say.
What?
No, one more thing you got to say. Hurry.
Don't
kidding
get
me?
sick, wash your dick. Don't smoke Scuba Stevie and Summer's Eve.
There you
That's
go.
it.
There we go.
DCS out. Woo!
Rock and roll!